I think time-lapse is so mesmerizing because it's something you don't normally get to see. You know, we're all in the real world, we're seeing life happening at real time, but with time-lapse you get to condense that time or vast amounts of time into a very small window, and you get to see stuff that, you know, moves really slow, move really fast. It really allows you to see things in a new light. I'm Drew Geraci and I shoot time-lapse photography. When it comes to creating these sequences of time-lapse, I look at it more as a story. Just like video production, you want to have your wide shots, your medium shots, and your close-ups, but you do that with time-lapse. And ultimately, we use time-lapse as a tool to tell the story. In a time-lapse subject, I look for a foreground, a middle ground, and background, but I also want to make sure there's a lot of motion and a lot of moving elements, whether that's light changing, shadows, cars, people, or just adding perspective motion using sliders. That's really what sets most time-lapses apart from being basic or advanced. A typical time-lapse day for me is first I'll go out and scout to make sure the location that I'm shooting is primed and ready for time-lapse. After that, I'll set my equipment up, get my tripod, my slider, and then put my cameras and then make all the settings that I need. It's really just tabulating what the exposure is going to be as well as the interval times, and then just sitting back and letting the cameras do the job. There's something to be said about seeing in time-lapse. I'll be looking at a scene and saying, oh, this element of motion would be great for this, this, and this. I'll look at the different layers that's in front of me. I'll look at the light, how it changes over time, and be like, wow, this would make for an incredible shot. The key element for me when it comes to time-lapse is motion blur. Typically, I'm shooting anywhere between 1 second to 3 seconds for all of my shots, whether that's in the daytime or in the nighttime, which really creates that illusion of really cinematic shots and gives you something that looks natural to the eye. I'll be out shooting anywhere between 6 to 9 months out of the year, and that could be traveling in the States or out of the States, commercial productions, or even just personal projects. But for me, I always want to stay on top of my game, so I'm always out shooting. It's second nature. It's kind of like time-lapse is a part of me. It's just something that I do now. It's just a daily routine. The first time-lapse I ever produced was garbage, and it really was. But a very famous photographer came up and talked to me and said, hey, this work is garbage and you should not ever do it again. And from that point on, I was like, you know what? I want to make the best damn time lapses you've ever seen.